Logan Rosenberger batting third and pitching. It's number 7, Jacob Franklin. Batting fourth at first base, number 21, Jonathan Milloway. Alex McNaughton. Batting sixth in right field, number 17, Caden Updegraft. Batting seventh at second base, Slay. Batting eighth and catching, number 9, Bryson Parks. And batting ninth at shortstop is number 11, Caden Central Bobcats. Leading off at shortstop, number 12, Andrew Hill. Batting second in left field, number 3, Logan Rodwald. Batting third in right field, number 10, Russ. Number 17, Owen Holbert. Batting fifth at third base, number 1, Austin Ellis. Batting sixth in center field, number 21, Caleb Hill. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 5, Jay Faulkner. Batting eighth and catching, number 26, George Singer. Brady Ackerman. And pitching for the Bobcats is number 11.
Thanks a lot, Lee. We apologize. We know that the earlier this field is located between two hills down in a valley, and even my cell phone is not getting a great signal, so we apologize for it. We'll try to do more of a radio broadcast here, and we'll load the ball game to YouTube at some point, and hopefully you'll be able to watch it at some point. Now we're about to have our national anthem here from Tommy Schumbert Park. Very windy day here from North Knox County here as we get set for Oak Ridge High School baseball here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. As I mentioned a minute ago, we apologize for the sound quality in our broadcast here. Hopefully we'll be able to get at least a radio broadcast here. Our technical engineer, Jordan Osborne, working feverishly on it right now, and hopefully we'll be able to get a broadcast. As we're not really situated in a great area for a cell signal, as I said, down in a valley. And one thing that's really apparently, as the wind is really, really blowing hard. And as the pitcher, Charlie Smith, is warming up here, Lee went through the lineups a few moments ago, and I love it, Lee, when we have a lineup card that has names that are very easily to pronounce. I mean, there isn't any wild cards in there, and hopefully we'll have a good baseball game here. The Wildcats lost last night 4-1 at Bobby Hopkins Field in a well-played ball game. Just one bad inning, the third inning, they scored all their runs, and that's all she wrote. Good pitching duel, and hopefully Jacob Franklin can shut down the Bobcats here.
Well, yeah, you said the lineup card for Central's pretty easy to read, but yeah, Oak Ridge is looking to have a bounce back win tonight. They need a district win as Charlie Smith warming up for Central. He's looking like he's getting the ball in there pretty good from what I'm seeing. Velo looks pretty good, so Oak Ridge needs to be aggressive here. Need to attack this guy early, and just gotta have a good win here. Need a win here.
He's a right-handed throwing pitcher for the Bobcats, who are wearing their white and red pinstripes with a little black. Their cap is red with a white C on the middle part of it. The Wildcats wearing their Cardinal jerseys with gray and white baseball pants, gray numerals with a white outline. And we're about to get set here from Tommy Schumbert Field here in Knoxville. The long throw down to second, and Matthew Swigert is about to lead things off for the Wildcats. He'll be followed by Logan Rosenberger in the Oak Ridge line. lineup. Oak Ridge Baseball here on YouTube. Our camera personnel, we've got Jordan Osborne sitting up here in the stands. The windy day here, but a beautiful day here for baseball. Matthew steps in, right-handed hitting senior, and we're about to have the first pitch of the ball game. Here it is. That's a called strike on the inside corner of the plate. And Matthew falls behind, no balls and 1 strike. Good turnout of fans on the central side. Good turnout of Oak Ridge fans. There will be a junior varsity game after this. Here's the 1 strike pitch. That's high. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Charlie Smith for Central. He's got a straight downhill action here, so got to attack the fastball.
Matthew back in, the 1-1 pitch, hit in the air down the right field line, drifting and curving off foul. Just foul by about 10 feet, and the count is 1-2. We're live here on our YouTube channel. Trying to get Jordan to fix it. I don't know. It's a little bit choppy there. I'm just kidding him. It's not his fault at all. It is the fault of the internet here, and sometimes we run into places where we don't have a good signal. That's why I typically say we will attempt to stream. And I think we're streaming right now. It just might be a little choppy. That pitch is outside and low. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Baseball season winding down here. A couple more weeks here, and the district tournament will begin for District 3 teams. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Matthew. Hit in the air. That's a line drive base hit into right center field. And the Wildcats have their leadoff man aboard. Good job of hitting. Didn't really try to hit the ball out of the park, Lee. Just put the bat where the ball was and poked it into right center field.
Now, that was good at bat. He let the ball get deep. Like I said, attack the fastball. One thing I've noticed out of the pitcher, Charlie Smith, is Hospi hasn't really been near the zone. So I'd maybe sit back on the I'd hold off on the off speed right now. I would sit on that fastball. That's what Swiger just did right there.
Logan Rosenberger stands in. He's a junior. He'll be playing third base today for the Wildcats. Pitched in yesterday's ball game. Matthew takes his lead. Rosenberger squares to bunt, takes one outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Jacob Franklin on deck for the Wildcats, sophomore. He'll be pitching in tonight's ball game. No DH. He's hitting for himself. As we looked at Coach Free's lineup, had a DH in there, but no DH in this ball game. Logan squares to bunt once again. Matthews going on the pitch. He pulls back on the bunt. Here's a high throw. It's a stolen base for Matthew Swigert. Gets in easily. And I think that it's 2 balls and no strikes, and that's a stolen base for Matthew Swigert.
Yeah, that was the old fake bunt steal play right there. I actually kind of like that play. You got the infield moving around, and you end up stealing a base out of it. It was a good run by Swigert. Here's another good bunt.
Fielded by the first baseman. He throws on to the second baseman covering, and moving over to third will go Matthew Swigert. So the Wildcats have a runner at third with 1 out, and the batter will be the pitcher, Jacob Franklin. On deck for the Wildcats will be the cleanup hitter, Jonathan at third. The Wildcats trying to get an early lead.
Yeah, Franklin has an opportunity to help himself out here. He's got Swigert on third, less than 2 outs, so got to drive in a run here.
Pitch is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Windy day here at Tommy Shumpert Park. Beautiful facility here. Back in the old days, they used to play at Fountain City Park. I'll come back to that in a moment. Going to be even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 strike the count. Jacob Franklin steps in once again. Matthew Swigert takes his lead off of third. No score, just as a called strike, a little bit above the belt. They used to play at Fountain City Park facility for baseball. This was a beautiful place. Here's the 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground on a high hop. That's going to get the run in, and they might have a base hit. Oh, it's going to be Jordan Osborne doing camera work here today. Appreciate him coming in this beautiful day here in Knox County. Takes a half-hearted swing, and he did swing, and he falls behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Alex McNaughton on deck for the Wildcats, hitting in the number 5 hole for Coach Travis Free's Wildcats. Milloway stands in. Cats. Charlie Smith to the plate, hit well into left field, right at the left fielder on a line, and he makes the catch for out number 3. But the Wildcats get a leadoff single, and they played him on the RBI ground out by Jacob Franklin. We go to the bottom half of the first inning here at Tommy Shumpert Park in North Knox County. The Wildcats on top 1-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the first in a moment. I know you've been there. Feed here. Spike. Test, 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 test. You got what's that? Okay. Welcome back to Tommy Shumpert Park here in North Knox County. The Wildcats played an early run here to take the lead over the Central Bobcats. I was talking about the park play. That's, of course, where Todd Helton, Matt Trammell, Chris Freeman, and those guys back in the 90s played. When Bud Bales, the head coach at Central. Central was a powerhouse. That was a field. All the corners, center field, right center, right field, left field. So if you hit a ball to center field, it was about 550 feet. As the leadoff man stands in for the Bobcats, and that is the shortstop. That is Andrew Hill. The first pitch from Jacob Franklin is down low, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count.
We were talking about the field. That's why Todd Helton really doesn't have that many breaking records with like home runs or anything, because the fence was so far back.
I don't know. Every time I saw that guy play, he hit the ball hard. I remember one particular ball game, and I'll come back after this 1-1 pitch. Bottom of the first inning, Jacob Franklin. I'll set the infield for you here in a moment. The pitch from Franklin is on the inside corner for a called strike. I remember one time the bases were loaded. Wildcats walked Todd Helton intentionally because it was either going to be, as that ball is hit on the ground, shortstop Caden Black fields it cleanly, has plenty of time to throw, goes on to Jonathan Milloway at first, in time, hop there for the freshman shortstop, and there's 1 out.
Yeah, good job, Franklin. Fell behind 2-0. Got Andrew Hill for Central to chop one over to short. Nice play by Caden Black.
The Central Bobcats. Right throwing sophomore. 1 out here in the first. Pitch on the inside corner at the knees for a called strike. No balls and 1 strike.
A lot of fans up on the hill out there in left field, David. So not a lot of fans here in the bleachers, but Oak Ridge fans could also be out there on the hill.
Kind of a better view, and I'm kind of wondering what the camera will look like. There's a cut-on miss by Rodwald, the left fielder for the Bobcats, and he's behind. Actually, it should be 0-2. Scoreboard says 1-1, but it is no balls and 2 strikes. Franklin has the sign from Parks. Ball's hit on a high hop to Franklin. Feels it, has time. Now double clutches and does not throw. Kind of surprised that Milloway didn't go to the bag there, and probably Jacob should have gone ahead with the throw and threw it to the bag, but he wisely, instead of wanting to throw it away, he just holds on to it, and that's, I guess, an infield single. I mean, not much more you can say about that.
Yeah, that's going to be an infield singles. A chopper, it bounced up high that Frank was able to field. I don't know why Milloway didn't cover the bag, so should have been 2 outs right there.
Runner takes a good-sized lead. Parks is the catcher. The pitch from Franklin is a called strike. One thing that Jacob's doing, he's pounding the strike zone early.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. That's what I wanted to see tonight. You pound the zone. That's how you get these hitters off balance, and then you can work your off-speed pitches in there when you're ahead in the count.
Runner going. The pitch is hit foul off to the right side, so the base runner will have to return. 1 out here, 1-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats in the lead. We're on our YouTube channel. We apologize for the choppiness of the signal. Speaking of Bud Bales, I see him. He, the former head coach of the Central Bobcats, coached Todd Helton in high school. He's in attendance here. Good to see that. That's a great pickoff move there by Jacob Franklin, and they picked him off first. So they didn't get him initially when they could have, but drifted off just a little bit too far off the bag, and a nice tag put down by Jonathan Milloway, and a nice pickoff move by Franklin, and now there's 2 outs.
Well, I thought they just had a hit and run on him a second ago. Rodwall took off the second, and they fouled it off, and they had Rodwall leaning over there at first, so nice comeback, and now we got an 0-2 count, so we have an opportunity for this to be a very quick inning.
Here's the pitch, hit foul again off to the right side and out of play, and the count remains at 0-2. I didn't really set the infield for you. Rosenberger is the third baseman. Caden Black is at short. Looks like Jason Slays at second. Jonathan Milloway is at first base. Bryson Parks is the catcher. I'll get the outfield in a moment. Here comes the 2-strike pitch. Almost hit him. It's inside. And the count, I believe, is 1-2 strikes. The outfield, we've got Caden Updegraff out in right field. The center fielder is Matthew Swigert. Alex McNaughton is in left. 1-0 Wildcats as we play here in the first. Here's the pitch to the plate. Hit on the ground, third base side. Rosenberger fields it, throws on to Milloway in time for out number 3. Nice play by the third baseman on a little bit of a high throw, but it's hard to get a throw over big Jonathan Milloway, and the side is retired. We go to the top of the second inning here at Tommy Schumpert Park. Out Knox County here, the Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top of Central, 1-0, and we'll be back in a moment. David Clary back here along with Lee Weck for Jordan Osborne. We apologize for the choppiness of the signal. As I mentioned earlier, this park is located between two hills down in a valley. I do not see any towers or hardly anything at all really electrical in the area, so it's probably just not a great cell signal in here. But hopefully the audio is getting out and you can follow us here. I can tell you right now, it's a good start for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge got their leadoff man on. Came in to score on a bounding ground ball by Jacob Franklin, and we go to the second inning, and Oak Ridge leads it 1-0. Here comes Alex McNaughton standing in. He's playing left field for the Wildcats. It's a right-handed hitting junior. He'll be followed by the junior Caden Updegraff. Here's the pitch to McNaughton. Hit in the left field on a line, and that one pitch, line drive hit. So back-to-back innings where the Wildcats have gotten their leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, McNaughton stays aggressive right there, sits on the fastball, and I mean that's what Oak Ridge looks like they're going to have to do against Charlie Smith here for Central. Is just attack that fastball, maybe sit back on the off speed, but yeah, attack that fastball. McNaughton did that just a moment ago. Milloway last inning hit that ball hard to left field, got the fastball, but hit it right to the left fielder.
Good lead. McNaughton is gonna. He would have stolen that base. Caden tried to put the bunt down and didn't get it down. That would have been really a stolen base. Alex would have stolen the base because he got a walking lead on the pitcher, Charlie Smith, and he had no idea that he was moving. And Coach Free comes up to have words with Caden. Didn't get the bunt down here, gets some encouragement from his head coach, gets a hug from him, and some words that we cannot hear from here, but I'm sure they're positive and in nature. He just says, in a situation like that, you've got to get the bunt down.
Well, I don't know if Updegraff was supposed to bunt because McNaughton was running. I wonder if it was supposed to be a fake bunt steal because Oak Ridge did that last inning. So not really sure if Updegraff was supposed to bunt, but nonetheless, nobody's hurt here.
Called strike there, and the count now is no balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first, Alex McNaughton. Jason Slays on deck for the Wildcats. Ridge on top 1-0 as we play here at Tommy Schumpert Park in North Knox County. Charlie Smith checks the runner. Here's the pitch to Caden. Bounce to the plate. Not far enough for Alex to advance to second. Count is 1-2. First baseman is Owen Holbert for them. The third baseman is Austin Ellis. The shortstop is Andrew Hill. The catcher is George Sanger. Second baseman is Brady Ackerman. Good lead by McNaughton once again, and almost a balk there. McNaughton had about a 10-step lead off, and he stepped off the rubber as Caden steps in once again. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to him. Throw over, and McNaughton back safely. Let's go back to the first inning. Jacob had a really good pickoff move to pick off the man at first.
Yeah, I think he had the runner leaning there. It was a great move after maybe a little miscue there by Milloway, but they were able to get out of it. And great pickoff move, and he was able to get the runner. But what I liked out of Jacob Franklin was his ability to pound the zone and get 3 ground balls. He got 3 ground balls that inning, and that's what I wanted to see out of him tonight.
McNaughton continues to take a big lead at first for the Wildcats. Not going, the pitch is hit on the ground. High hopper, that's going to be in the left field, a base hit. Just a high bounding ball that just popped over the third baseman's head, and the Wildcats have runners at first and second, and nobody hit it. Baseman who was have runners at first and second, nobody out.
I mean, it looks like the ball's hitting maybe that lip. They're hitting the ball straight down. We've seen it with both teams so far. The ball goes straight down, hits that lip, and it just bounces high up in the air. We've seen that maybe 2 or 3 times already.
Jason Slay, the batter, he squares to bunt, and he bunts it foul over the top of the backboard and over to our right, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. As we've said many, many times, the philosophy, Coach Free likes to get runners over to third as quickly as possible. Wildcats in a district ball game trying to get some runs here. They lost yesterday 4-1 in a ball game played at Bobby Hopkins Field. They're trying to get more here. They scored a single run in the first. They've got runners at first and second. Jason squares to bunt. Once again, the first baseman comes charging in. Pitches down low, and count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Did you ever play the corner infield, the positions for when you were playing high school baseball in Murfreesboro?
No, I was an outfielder, and I was also a pitcher. But no, I did not play the corner infielders. One thing I'm noticing, the first baseman for Central, Holbert, he is coming really close. I mean, he is running straight in.
That was my point. I was going to say he could almost lose if Jason were to pull back and swing.
Well, one thing right there, if I'm a hitter or a coach, I notice that the first baseman's charging that much. Look at the second baseman out there. The second baseman is Ackerman. He is way over to first.
Here comes the first baseman charging once again. There's a called strike, and the count is even at 2 balls. And second base is Alex McNaughton. Caden Updegraft is the runner at first base. Jason Slay, the batter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here as the Wildcats bat here in the second inning. Runners going. The pitch is a strike. Here's the throw down. That's a stolen base, a double stolen base for the Wildcats. Third goes Alex McNaughton. Caden Updegraft is down at second base. The Wildcats have 2 runners in scoring position and a full count on Jason Slay.
Yeah, it was a good double steal. McNaughton had a good jump from second, and let's see if Slay can help his pitcher Jacob Franklin out, and unfortunately he won't because he just struck out swinging.
And that's 1 out here, and the batter now will be the catcher Bryson Parks. He stands in. Bryson had a good night yesterday hitting the baseball. Let's see if he can get a base hit here or somehow get the run in. The infield is in on the grass here at all positions. Catcher Parks. Charlie Smith, the pitcher for Central, trying to get out of a second inning miss. Pitch is cut on and missed. Count is no balls and 1 strike. Caden Black's on deck for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has put 1 on the board. They did that in the first. They've got 2 on here in the second. Runner at third is Alex McNaughton. He singled. Caden Updegraft is the runner at third. Actually, is McNaughton. At second is Updegraft. Here's the pitch to Parks. Cut on and missed again. Kind of took something off on 2 straight pitches there, and he falls behind 0-2.
Yeah, he got Parks to chase that off-speed pitch, and now it's 0-2. We've had runners second, third, nobody out, and now there's 1 out, and Parks now he's down 0-2. So got to put a ball in play right here.
Here's the pitch to him. It's on the inside corner for called strike 3. With 2 strikes, probably a little bit too close to take, but now it's up to the Caden's a good hitter. He's a really good hitter, and it's almost like having 2 leadoff guys in your ball game. Your ninth place hitter and your leadoff man who's on deck, and that is Matthew Swigert. But it's going to take a 2-out hit here now. The Wildcats with runners at second and third, now 2 outs. The pitch to Black is on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1.
Oh, Charlie Smith for Central, he's found his grip for his off-speed pitch, and he's been able to throw it for a strike, and he's had the Oak Ridge hitters off balance and got them off their timing here. So we're going to have to now attack that off-speed pitch.
Pitch by Black is fouled back to the screen, and he's behind in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. A couple balls have been hit hard in this ball game. The Milloway out was a hard hit ball. The line drive by Matthew Swigert to start the ball game was hit hard. A soft line drive by Alex McNaughton, a bounding single by Caden Updegraft. Let's see what Caden can do with 2 strikes here. Matthew Swigert is on deck. Wildcats runners at second and third. They were out there with no outs. Now there's 2. Black back in. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Bounce to the plate. Nice stop by the catcher, George Sanger. And the count is 1-2.
I'd like to see McNaughton get a good secondary here. Not the biggest backstop, but, I mean, you need a run here. So if a ball's to get away from the catcher here, I'd like to see McNaughton have a good secondary. And it looks like that's what Coach Free could be telling him right now. You got to get a good secondary because if the ball escapes the catcher here, you got to get in there and score a run.
1-2 pitch from Smith. Hit on the ground up the middle. That's a base hit. Big job. Great job of hitting. The stop sign is thrown up at third. Wildcats, Caden Black, he throws it down, and the Wildcats have runners at second and third again. The ball was hit right up the middle. The center fielder was playing fairly shallow. Caden obviously didn't get a great jump off of second. I thought he'd score with ease, but as he hit the third base bag, the ball got in quickly from the center fielder. And Wildcats once again have a run, and they once again have runners at second and third. And back to the top of the order, we go to Matthew Swigert. Here's the pitch to him. He led off the game with a single. Came around to score the Wildcats' only run. Oak Ridge on top 2-0 as they bat here in the second.
That was a good patient at bat by Caden Black. He found a fastball that looked like it was left over the middle of the plate, and he drove it right back up the middle. That's what I want to see out of Caden Black, is take that ball right back up the middle, and he ended up getting a run out of it.
2 balls, no strikes the count. Charlie Smith has given up 2 runs. He's got runners at second and third currently with 2 outs. Swigert 1 for 1 in the ball game. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Called a strike. And the count is 2-0 Wildcats as Oak Ridge bats here in the second inning in a game that we're trying to broadcast here. A little choppy video. We know that. We apologize for that. Hopefully the audio is working fine. 2-1 pitch. Hit on the ground. There's another base hit. Matthew Swigert in to score. Comes Caden Updegraft. Here comes Caden Black at the plate. He's in there safely for run number 4. Rounding second and going all the way to third is Matthew Swigert. And the Wildcats have a 4-0 lead over the Central Bobcats. Great job of hitting by back-to-back players, Caden Black, Matthew Swigert. 4-0 Oak Ridge.
Well, Swigert attacks a fastball. It's like I said, get on this guy's fastball, and good things happen. And one thing I'm noticing here is that ball is driven right back where it came from. Just about took Charlie Smith's glove off. It was that close, but good approach that time by Swigert. Got 2 hits on the day, and they had second, third, 2 outs. It looked like Central was going to get out of it, but good 2-out hitting so far for Oak Ridge. That's one thing you've got to be able to have if you want to make a good postseason run. You've got to be able to hit with 2 outs.
Probably can hear the wind on our microphone here. Rosenberger swings and kind of half-heartedly. He didn't check it, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Nothing Wildcats here as they bat here in the second inning. Logan stands in, put down a bunt his first time, and stands in. Behind you the count, no balls and 1 strike. Checking the runner, Matthew. Timeout is asked for by Logan and granted by the umpire. Strike the count to him. Jacob Franklin, the on-deck hitter for the Wildcats, the beneficiary of the 4 runs. His teammates, well, he actually helped himself with an RBI in the first inning, but he's up 4-0. Here's the pitch to Logan. He swings, and he misses that off-speed pitch. Lee has really got the Wildcats off balance. And as you have said, it's his fastball the Wildcats are hitting.
Well, it looks like he's found a grip for his off-speed pitch Charlie Smith has for Central. If he can locate it, he's got the Oak Ridge hitters off balance.
Here's the pitch, cut on and missed, and there's a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 3. The Wildcats put 3 on the board. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. This District 3 ball game here from Tommy Shumpert Park. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge 4 and the Central Bobcats nothing. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Central High School field. It's not Central High School, obviously. That's in Fountain City. It is on Fountain City Road, I believe, something like that. It is stuck between two hills. Really, it's closer to Callahan Road than anything. It's just between two valleys. That's why our signal is not good getting the video out to stream here, but the audio is working. We understand. And just kind of follow along with us. I'll try to do the best play-by-play I can do, radio-wise. I'm a radio, so I typically do that anyway. For the leadoff man this inning is Owen Holbert, the first baseman, and he takes a ball down low. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. 4-0 Wildcats. Oak Ridge trying to split the series with the Bobcats. They lost last night at Franklin. Has the sign from Parks, and the 1-0 pitch. Cut on a miss. Kind of a late hack at it.
Well, Franklin's got himself a 4-0 lead, and again, you got to strikes, let your defense work. You got a 4-0 lead.
1-1 pitch, cut on and missed. Low and inside pitch, not even close to it, and Jacob now ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It'll be Holbert, Ellis, and Hill, the scheduled 3 in the central lineup here. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Hit in the air, right side. Jonathan Milloway in foul territory makes the one-handed grab for out number 1. So, good play there by Milloway. Didn't have to go, 20 feet or so. And Franklin has his first out recorded here in the second.
One thing I like out of Franklin is his arm action. His arm slots maybe dropped a little bit, and it looks like he's got a little run to his fastball. And sometimes with that run, it causes a slower pitch. And so far, it has the central hitters off balance. Their timing's messed up.
Ellis is a bit high, and the count is 1-0. 4-0 Wildcats. The central bats in the second. There's a called strike at the knees on the inside half of the plate. The count is even. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's always good to see Bud Bales at the ballpark. As I mentioned, he was way long time ago, won a couple state championships there. Todd Helton's coach. He's in attendance here today. As that pitch is a little inside, I guess, perhaps a little to Austin Ellis. Ellis playing third base, just cut on and missed. And the count is even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bryson Parks is the catcher for the Wildcats juniors. This is a very young Oak Ridge team.
Do count here.
Jacob's pitch, cut on a miss, and that strike out, a little foul tip action there, and that is out number 2 here in the second inning. And
yeah, that's one thing I like out of Franklin is his run on his fastball. It has the central hitters maybe out on their front foot. They haven't bailed up anything so far for Franklin.
Left-handed hitter stands in and fouls it back to the screen, and Jacob ahead. At Tommy Shumpert Park, beautiful day, a bit windy. Can you believe, Lee, it's supposed to be snowing tomorrow, which is kind of hard to believe. Crazy to hear. I honestly don't remember it ever snowing in this late of April. That pitch is hit foul back our way. Jordan ducks, and it goes out of play. Count as no balls and 2 strikes.
I know the temperature's supposed to drop. I think the low tomorrow I saw was 30, so that was kind of eye-opening, but I didn't know it was supposed to snow tomorrow.
Jacob Franklin trying to end the second inning. Walking park here. It's a beautiful facility and a beautifully manicured. Here comes the 2-strike pitch from Jacob Franklin. It's outside, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grass. This place is immaculate.
Yeah, it looks really nice. As I was walking up, I noticed how nicely one of the nicer fields I think I've seen here in East Tennessee.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch outside. Maybe 2 outside. Count full now. Bobcats trying to pick up a base runner here. They had a base runner earlier on a little infield chopper. Let's see what Franklin. Cut on a miss. That's a strikeout, and that is Alfred Park. We go to the top of the third. Here, the Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top of the Central Bobcats, 4-0. Top of the third inning here at Tommy Shumpert Park in North Knox County. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge enjoying a 4-0 lead over the Central Bobcats. Yesterday, Central beat Oak Ridge 4-1 in Oak Ridge. So the Wildcats trying to split the series, district series here. They split series with the Halls Red Devils. They swept series with Clinton and Anderson County. Got swept by the Powell Panthers, but a lot of people are getting swept by Powell in the district. And the Carnes series is still yet to be determined. Did I tell you what happened the last time we were at Carnes broadcasting a ball game? I'll tell you in a moment. As Jacob Franklin steps in and takes one low, 2-0 over Carnes, and that game suspended at that point. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Jacob. It's down low. 2 balls and no strikes. I honestly have been out of town for the last week or so, and I don't know if they have rescheduled it or even if they have played it, to be honest with you. 2-0 pitch to Jacob. Hit well into center field. A solid base knock by Jacob Franklin off the ball here at Tommy Shumpert Park.
He drove that ball right back up the middle. Hands inside the ball, drove right back where it came from. That's a good piece of hitting right there. We're going to get a pinch runner here, and it's going to be Joey West.
He's going to take over for Jacob Franklin as the courtesy runner. And the batter now will be Jonathan Milloway. Jonathan hit the ball out in the first inning. It was caught. Big, rangy, right-handed hitting senior. Joey takes his lead off of first, and the pitch to Jonathan Milloway is a called strike at the knees, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. 4-0 Wildcats as they bat here on the top of the third inning. You know, blustery day here, and we were talking about this. If it kind of appears to now blowing straight out to center. It was blowing hard to right earlier. I thought any left-hander got the ball up in the air might have a chance to get out as they throw over to first, and Weston is back safely. But now it's blowing dead center. It is 380, I believe, out to center field, 310 to left field, and 320 to right. Or right field is 310, and left field is 320. Ball's hit well deep to left center field. The ball is way back there. That ball is out of here. Jonathan Milloway with a long home run, and Oak Ridge leads it by a score of 6-0.
Yeah, we were just talking about the wind's blowing straight out. Milloway puts one up in the jet stream there, and he's going to take a slow trot around the bases. Got himself a good fastball hit. Like I've said, attack this guy's fastball. Milloway hit the ball in the button last at bat, hit it right at the left fielder. And he gets rewarded this at bat. He puts one out in left center field. That was just a bomb, David. It really was, and it's 6-0 here.
Yeah, I don't think the wind had any effect on that one. I think that one was going to go anyway. So the Wildcats lead it now 6-0 here, and it'll be Oak Ridge's Alex McNaughton standing in. 6-0 Wildcats here. Charlie Smith, ball's hit foul off to the right side, off the catcher, maybe even off the umpire, and the count is 0-1.
Well, this is a good response from last night's loss. Obviously, not much offense was generated last night, and they're doing what I said. You got to attack the guy's fastball, get on this guy early, and just drive the ball back where it came from. I like Oak Ridge's swing so far.
No balls, 1 strike the count. Alex McNaughton stands in. 6-0 Wildcats here. The pitch is a strike, and the count is 0-2. Wildcats have scored in every inning. The Wildcats have hit Charlie Smith hard, and Jonathan Milloway hit him long just a moment ago. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Alex. Hits the ball foul off towards the right side. The count remains at 0-2. Alex 1 for 1 in the ballgame. He singled his first plate appearance to lead off the second inning. 6-0 Wildcats as Oak Ridge goes for another district win. The Wildcats, Campbell County to go. Pitch to McNaughton is cut on and miss on that off-speed pitch, and that is out number 1 here in the third inning. And the batter now will be the junior right fielder, Caden Updegraft. Caden had a single in his first plate appearance, a little high hopper, which eventually he came around to score, and the pitch to him is high, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes. It is a windy day, and now the wind is blowing in from left field and kind of swirling around the park here. Caden stands back in, 1 ball, no strikes to him. Pitch to him is a called strike at the knees. down the middle of the plate, evens the count at the Oak Ridge High School basketball team, as is his twin brother Jamison. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Hit well again. The center field, deep. The center fielder back on it. He makes a grab and pulls it down for out number 2. Center fielder, I noticed, playing a little bit shallow. He's pretty tall out there. He kind of got fooled a little bit. Maybe the wind had something to do with it, but it almost got over his head, but that is just a long out.
Yeah, that ball was a little bit up. The pitch up to Graf swung that time, and of course our wind keeps shifting here, so our wind changes every which direction every half inning here.
Jason Slay hits the ball to second, and they throw him out for out number 2. But another good inning for the Wildcats. They played 2 more runs. The Wildcats lead the Central Bobcats here as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 6-0 Wildcats. We'll be back in a moment.
Ball. I think he's had the Central hitters off balance so far, and just keep getting ground balls here. That's all you can do. Let your defense work. Just keep throwing strikes if you're Jacob Franklin.
He has faced the minimum to this point, and the leadoff man is the number 7 hitter, and the pitch to him is hit on the ground. First base side, Jonathan Milloway feels it. He'll run to the bag himself and for out number 1. So a good start for Jacob. A soft little grounder to Jonathan Milloway, and Jay Faulkner is out. Number 8 hitter, the catcher, George Sanger, is the batter now. He's a left-handed hitter for the Bobcats. They don't have any imposing guys really on their team so far in terms of just physical size. Kind of similar to Oak Ridge, to be honest with you. You take Jonathan Milloway, honestly, out of the equation, and the rest of the guys are pretty similar.
Yeah, not too much height standout if you take Milloway out. Milloway makes this team look a little taller.
Ball is hit softly to the second baseman, Jason Slay. He is hurt. He makes the catch for out number 2. So Jacob, as I mentioned, he has faced 8 batters. One man reached in the first inning, but he erased him by picking him off. So we go to the number 9 hitter in the Bobcat order, Brady Ackerman, the second baseman. 2 outs here, nobody aboard for the Bobcats. 6-0 Wildcats. The pitch is hit foul off to the right side, a little bit behind, and the count is no balls and 1 strike to Brady Ackerman.
Well, Free's got to be pleased with Franklin here. You come out throwing strikes, attacking the zone. That's what you got to do. And he's gotten a ground ball and a little flare pop up. So good start to the inning so far.
Right-handed throwing Franklin comes to the plate. There's a called strike. He is just throwing strikes, one after another, is the long-haired sophomore. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. 6-0 Wildcats. Franklin works from the stretch. Parks with the sign, the 0-2 pitch. A little bit low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. The Wildcats have scored in every inning of the contest. Got a single run in the 3 runs in the second inning. Scored 2 at the top of this inning. That pitch is hit on the ground over the pitcher's head. Jason Slay feels it. Will he have a play? Not in time. That'll be an infield single. The ball was not hit hard at all. And once it got over Franklin's head, it was going to be tough for Jason to throw him out. And they've got a 2-out infield single.
Yeah, that was just a slow chopper that got over Franklin's head. Slay had to move really far to his right. He made it. He stopped it from going to the outfield, but he just didn't have a play, and that's the second hit of the ball game so far for Centrals. They'll flip it to the top of the order here.
Andrew Hill, the batter, the shortstop. He steps in with 2 outs, short lead at first. Here's the pitch to the plate, hit foul. Over towards and over the top of the central dugout. Now to play, and the count is no balls and 1 strike.
Andrew Hill grounded out to shortstop in his first at-bat.
0 for 1 in the ball game. Jacob Franklin checks the runner. It's a short lead at first. There's 2 outs. They're down 6. They don't want to have anybody picked off as that pitch is high and tight. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. We apologize for the choppiness of the video here. The audio is coming in well. So far, nothing but good stuff to report. Lead 6-0, and there's a call. Jacob Franklin continues to pound the strike zone. Runner at first. That is Ackerman. Takes his lead. Short lead. Very short lead. And here comes a 2-strike pitch from Jacob Franklin. Hit on the ground. Third base, they have a play. He will not. And they've got runners at first and second with 2 outs. Ball was hit hard. Logan fielded it cleanly. Then it popped out of his glove. And by the time he recovered it, he would have had to throw completely across the diamond to get him out. And the Speedy Hill was able to reach base safely. So they've got something going with 2 outs.
Yeah, Rosenberger that ball was hit hard. He was able to knock it down. Was able to backhand the ball. Probably saved maybe a double right there. Probably going to be an E5. But keeps the ball in the infield and keeps the runners at first and second.
Right-handed hitter here. They've got runners at first and second. Ball is hit in the air softly, right side. Caden Updegraff should make the play, and he does for out number 3. So first pitch swinging, a soft fly ball out to the right fielder. So the Wildcats continue to take the lead. The Bobcats strand a couple runners. We go to the top of the 4th inning here at Tommy Shumpert Park. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge 6 and the Central Bobcats nothing, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Tommy Shumpert Park in North Knox County. The Wildcats on top of Central 6-0. You know, obviously the offense has been good, but what about the pitching performance to this point by Jacob Franklin?
Well, he's been effective because he's throwing strikes. I think he's only gotten a 2-3 ball count so far. He's got Central swinging early. They've got him off balance. They've got him hitting off the handle, off the cap, rolling over, flaring up, popping up. And so it's been a solid outing so far for Franklin, but as we saw Central's flip the lineup, it looks like they're attacking, they're getting their timing's better. So Franklin's going to have to be careful on the second time through the Central's order.
Number 8 hitter stands in for the Wildcats. That is Bryson Parks, and he takes a strike. On deck for the Wildcats, a man who had an RBI single, Caden Black. He's on deck for the Wildcats, so it's 8-9-1 for the Wildcats here in the 4th inning. Charlie Smith still on the hill. Pitch is hit foul back to the screen. Bryson was a strikeout victim back in his first plate appearance. He's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. 6-0 Wildcats as Oak Ridge bats here in the 6th on a windy day here. It's still pretty warm. I was kind of careful. I tried to figure out what I wanted to wear here. I'm kind of as Parks takes a swing and misses, and that's a strikeout, and that is out number 1 here in the 4th inning. I'm kind of a shorts kind of wearing guy, but I don't like to get cold either, so I wore the old blue jeans here, but it's still pretty warm.
Yeah, I'm a shorts guy. I can wear shorts. For me, I've got the hoodie on. I knew it was going to be windy, so I figured it'd be a little chilly later on, but I've got the hoodie on.
This game is actually, there's another line drive to center field. Center fielder makes a great catch out there. Beautiful play out in center field, taking a single away from Caden Black. Nice play by Caleb Hill.
Yeah, nice play. by the center fielder, Caleb Hill. If he doesn't catch that ball's rolling to the fence, and Caden Black's just circling around the bases. And it looks like maybe knocked the air out of Caleb Hill out there. Coach is going to go check on him. But I liked Caden Black's approach right there. Got the fastball, hands inside the ball. I haven't been to too many games so far, but the young Caden Black hitter, what I've seen is that when he's effective, when he hits and barrels the baseball up, it's usually to the left side of the field because he's a left-handed hitter. When he keeps his hands inside, barrel to the baseball, he's driving the ball right up the middle to the left side of the field. He has a pretty good backside approach, and I think that's what Coach Free likes about him. It's just his approach. I've liked what I've seen, and I believe he's a freshman. Yeah, he is a freshman, and I've really been impressed with his at-bats and the ones I've seen so far.
Yeah, he's been that way all season long. That's why I said the Wildcats essentially have two leadoff guys, one in the number 9 spot, and this guy standing right here who's had a phenomenal senior year. That's Matthew Swigert. He's 2 for 2 in the ballgame. He stands in, swings, and misses. Of course, the family has a little history against the Central Bobcats. If I get the opportunity, I'll tell you about that as that pitch is cut on and missed. And I think Matthew saw Jonathan hit the home run, and Matthew swinging for the 380 sign there in dead center field. Falls behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. 6-0 Wildcats here. Charlie Smith works fast. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit well in the center field again. Center fielder makes a nice running catch for out number 3. The most impressive guy I've seen on the field tonight, the center fielder for the Central Bobcats. The Wildcats have been impressive at every position tonight. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Wildcats on top of the Bobcats, 6-0. I'll tell the story here, why the Black family has a little history with the Central Bobcats. One of my more infamous calls happened in 1991 in the Central football game when Todd Helton was the quarterback for the Central Bobcats, and all night long he had continued to kind of about to be sacked, toss the ball, and the pitch would be go to his running back, and they'd get 8 or 10 yards. One time, too many times he did it. He pitched it up in the air, and Ron Black, Caden's uncle, picked it off midair, took it back for a touchdown, and the Wildcats knock off Central. They beat them twice that year, and Oak Ridge went on to win the state championship in football. And Todd Helton was Mr. Football that year over our Sean Summers, who incidentally was an Oak Ridge baseball player as well, drafted by the Miami Marlins back then, but elected to play football for UT and was a 4-year starter for the Wildcats. Those were the glory years of Oak Ridge baseball. Coach Free hopes to return to those glory days. The Wildcats winning 25-plus games several times, but they unfortunately had to go against the Central teams coached by the Hall of Fame coach Bud Bales, who's here tonight, and Todd Helton and Matt Trammell and Chris Freeman. Those 3 guys come to mind. They all 3 played professional baseball back in the day. Number 3 hitter in their lineup. It's 3, 4, and 5 for Central facing Jacob Franklin. This is Ryan Bolton, the right fielder, standing in, and that's a ball. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody aboard, nobody out here as the Bobcats bat here in the bottom half of the 4th inning in a 6-0 ball game with Oak Ridge in the lead. Jacob comes to the plate, almost hit him. Kind of might have grazed his shoulder there. Jacob's hit a few guys this year, several guys this year, double digits actually. He has hit, but he's a very effective pitcher for the Wildcats. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air, right side. Caden Updegraff doesn't have to move, but maybe a half a step, and that is out number 1. Just a soft line drive out to right field. Wildcat fielders haven't really had to do much. Most of the balls have been hit right at them.
Yeah, that ball's hit right at Updegraff. And one thing I touched on last inning was Central's flipped the order. It looks like they're being more aggressive. They're squaring the baseball up a little more. So Franklin needs to make sure he's locating his fastball and make sure he's still attacking the zone and getting ahead.
Here's our cleanup hitter, Owen Holbert, standing in. He's the first baseman for the Bobcats. What did he do his first plate appearance?
He popped out to Milloway in foul territory.
Right-handed throwing Jacob Franklin to the plate. Pitch is high, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. The Wildcats scored in every inning except the 4th here. Bobcats had runners at second and third the last inning. That's a called strike on the inside corner at the knees, and the count is 2-1. They had runners at second and third, but left them stranded. One out here in the fourth inning. Franklin behind in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is way high off the mid of the catcher. Holbert will be followed by the third baseman, Austin Ellis, in the Bobcat lineup. They're wearing pinstripes here. I know it's probably pretty hard to see. This is a very thick fence here at Central High School. Here's the pitch, cut on a miss, and the count is full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The fence is not one of the cloth ones. It's thick iron, and it's probably a little difficult to see. And we're also experiencing a choppiness on our signal because there's no cell signal here as that pitch is hit foul over the top of the central dugout. The count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jordan Osborne doing camera work. Good to see Jordan. I wonder what he's going to be doing after school tomorrow. That's the big question. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Oh, man, that is right down Broadway, and that is strike 3, and another strikeout for Jacob Franklin. How many does he have in the ballgame? But that, more importantly, it's out number 2 here in the fourth inning.
Well, it's only his 3rd strikeout. He's getting the central hitters to put some balls in play. It's only the 3rd strikeout. It's the 1st strikeout looking. His other 2 have been swinging.
And the batter now will be the third baseman, Austin Ellis. Nobody aboard for the Bobcats here. 6-0 Oak Ridge. Bottom of the fourth, ball is hit foul off to the right side and out of play.
Well, that wasn't really much of a good 0-0 swing by Austin Ellis. That's when you know Franklin's throwing the ball well, and he's putting some run on the fastball. That just looked like a defensive 0-2 swing.
Ball is hit foul again. Down the right side, a little harder that time. It goes rolling about all the way down, about halfway down the right field line, and pick up a hit. And 2 strikes. 6-0 Wildcats in a quick-moving ball game here at Tommy Shumpert Park. About an hour into it, we're about to hit the 5th inning. Pitch is a bit high, and the count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Nice turnout of fans here on this blustery day. Good offensive output for the Wildcats. 6 on the board here, and Franklin tossing a shutout. Here's the 2-strike pitch, and look pretty good from here. And count is even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That looked like strike 3. But like I said, I'm in the bleachers here. Umpire has a much better look. I can't complain about the umpiring as the pitch is cut on a miss. Off speed had him guessing, and he swung through it, and that is out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down for the Bobcats here in the 4th inning. We go to the top of the 5th inning. 6-0 Wildcats. We'll be back on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel in a moment. David Clark along with Lee Wexler, Jordan Osborne. We go to the top of the 5th inning here at Tommy Shumpert Park. It's been all Oak Ridge to this point.
Yeah, Oak Ridge has come out swinging the bats. Good pieces of hitting by several of the players. Saw a home run from Milloway. They've come out attacking Charlie's names whose name escapes me. Charlie Smith fastball. And we've also seen some good pitching by Jacob Franklin. So good game so far by Oak Ridge, and still got 3 more innings to go here. Big district game, obviously, in this district win. And what I've liked is the response by Oak Ridge so far tonight after a 4-1 loss last night.
Logan Rosenberger will lead things off for the Wildcats. He'll be followed by Jacob Franklin in the Wildcat order. Wildcats up 6-0, and Logan will stand in. Logan had a sacrifice back in the 1st inning, struck out in his last plate appearance. Pitch to him is cut on and missed, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. It'll be Rosenberger, Franklin, and Milloway, the scheduled 3 in Coach Travis Free's lineup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hit foul right at the plate, and Logan behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, what Charlie Smith's getting the Oak Ridge hitters to do, and I've noticed this the last couple of innings, he's getting the Oak Ridge hitters to chase that off-speed pitch down low. Hasn't thrown it for a strike yet, but he's gotten Rosenberger to chase both of them so far. So you just gotta be disciplined up there. Now you gotta protect.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 6-0 Wildcats as they bat here in the top of the 5th inning. As I mentioned, this is a district ball game. The Wildcats will play again on Thursday, scheduled to play, I believe it's Coalfield they're going to play as that pitch is low and inside. Then on Friday, they'll take on Stone Memorial, becoming a mainstay on teams that Oak Ridge plays. Here's the pitch to Rosenberger, hit on the ground, deep in the hole. That's going to be an infield hit. There's no way in the world they're going to throw Logan Rosenberger out. He's not the swiftest on the team, but that ball was hit deep in the hole. Shortstop made a good play on it, made a good throw, made it closer than I thought it was going to be, and that is...
The ball wasn't hit too sharply, but it was hit hard enough. Andrew Hill for Central had to move too far to his right. He was able to field it, but he was not going to be able to throw out Rosenberger. That's going to be an infield hit. That's Rosenberger's first hit of the ball game.
And the batter now will be the pitcher, Jacob Franklin. Jacob had an RBI back in the first inning on a little ground ball. And remind me what he did in his second plate appearance.
Franklin had a single. He also had an RBI his last at bat.
Yeah. Line drive up the middle. He squares the bunt, takes a strike, pulled the bat back. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. 6-0 Oak Ridge. They bat here in the 5th inning, trying to even the series with Central. Wildcats, as we've been mentioning, lost 4-1 yesterday. Logan takes his lead off of first. Good size lead. Here's the pitch to Jacob down low. That's a ball. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Choppy video on YouTube. We apologize for that. We don't have a great cell signal here. And the audio a little bit choppy as well. We've got it recorded though, so I'll get a chance to load it once again. Hopefully it won't be choppy there. Might be a mic issue, could be a sound issue, who knows. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Logan's going, the ball is hit foul and out of play over towards the concession stand, which is really packed over there to our right. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jacob Franklin, sophomore pitcher. Thrown a shutout to this point, 4 scoreless innings for the sophomore. He stands in, right-handed hitter. Logan Rosenberger, leadoff single. He takes his lead off of first. And the right-handed throwing Charlie Smith comes to the plate with a 1-2 pitch. Cut on and missed, and that is a strikeout, and that is out number 1. The batter will be the hammer, Jonathan Milloway. He stands in, has hit the ball right on the button twice. One was an out to left field. The second one, he didn't want to deal with any outfielders. He hit it over the top of them and the fence. Right-handed hitter stands in, 1 for 2 in the ball game, scored a run, and has knocked in 2 in this one. 1 ball and no strikes. Logan Rosenberger is the runner at first. He had a leadoff infield single for the Wildcats. He takes his lead. Jonathan Milloway stands back in, the 1-0 pitch. Cut on, missed. He bounces away from the catcher, and Logan's going to advance down to second. Ball bounced to the plate there, just far enough for Logan to get into scoring position.
Yeah, ball got away from the catcher that time, and Rosenberger was able to take second. One thing that I was taught in high school is you gotta study the pitcher, watch what he's throwing. And one thing I've noticed from Charlie Smith, and for the last several hitters, he started off with off-speed pitch, first pitch every time, and it really hasn't been strikes. So that's one thing I've noticed so far, and he's gotten the Oak Ridge hitters to chase it.
Here's the pitch to Jonathan on the inside corner, below the knees, but it's called a strike. The umpire's shoulders actually, and I think he thought that should have been a strike where it normally is, but not to Jonathan. That was below his knees. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Logan Rosenberger is the runner at second. On deck for the Wildcats is Alex McNaughton. Milloway stands back in. Here's the timeout asked for by Jonathan.
Well, just to pick up on what I was talking about just a second ago, I don't think Franklin who saw 4 pitches. I don't think he saw a fastball. And so far in 3 pitches, Milloway, I don't think he's seen a fastball. So Smith's relying on that off-speed pitch.
Here's the pitch, and that's called strike 3. So he took it in for the strikeout, and the batter now will be Alex McNaughton. In the first couple innings, Lee, the Wildcats had some really good 2-out hitting, plated their runs with 2 outs. Here, let's see what Alex can do here.
So far.
McNaughton stand in here in a moment. Logan Rosenberger led off the inning with a single. Was able to reach base on a pass ball there by the catcher. He's still at second. The pitch over the top of the head of Alex McNaughton, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Breezy day here at Tommy Shumpert Park. Beautiful day for baseball. Wildcats were scheduled, I believe, to play Fulton, but they backed out for whatever reason as the pitch is on the inside corner but low, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Falcons backing out of a ball game. I think that's why Cofield has been inserted in their spot. Got to play somebody. Cofield's willing, and they're pretty competitive the last time the two teams played, although the Wildcats have beaten them a couple times already. That pitch is high, and the count now is 2 balls and 1 strike. McNaughton, the hitter, the Wildcats, with Caden Updegraff on deck. The wind continues to whistle. You probably can hear it in the microphone. There's not a windscreen on this mic, so it's probably whipping around a little bit. 2-1 pitch. Logan going to third easily. Takes a strike, and Logan's easily in at third base, and the Wildcats now have a runner there. So maybe a pass ball, wild pitch. Alex trying to get a base knock here. Even count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at third, 6-0 Oak Ridge. Charlie Smith, the 2-2 pitch, hit in the air, right side pretty deep, going back the right fielder. It's way back there. It's over his head and bounces on the warning track. Another run scores, and Alex McNaughton has a long double to right center field. The right fielder just kept going back on it, and I'm not going to give it a windblown double. The ball was hit hard. Their outfielders play fairly shallow. I was looking at the flag as he hit it. The wind was hardly blowing at all, and the Wildcats lead Central now 7-0.
If Ryan Bolton, the right fielder, he just kept drifting back, and the wind is pushed that ball. That was a good backside approach that time. Got underneath it and drove that ball. And now he's still in third.
We're going to third. Here's the throw, and not in time. Another stolen base for the Wildcats. Alex McNaughton taking liberties on Charlie Smith, and he's at third base. And as I mentioned, Caden trying to get a base hit here and knock him in, or like I said, makes it a lot easier with a wild pitch or a pass ball to get a run in as Caden steps in. 1 ball, no strikes to him. Pitch low, 2 balls and no strikes. Caden has at least 1 hit in the ball game. What else has he done?
He flew out to center field last time.
Stands in with McNaughton, who's had a good day here. A couple hits at third. Another run in for the Wildcats. 7-0. Here's the pitch to Caden, low inside. 3 balls and no strikes. On deck, Jason Slay, the second baseman for the Wildcats. He's one of the only Wildcats is yet to reach base safely in this ball game. Let's see what Caden can do with a 3-0 pitch. Probably take it all the way. And he does, and that's ball 4. Not even close. And the Wildcats have runners on the corners with 2 outs, and the batter is Jason Slay.
Yeah, Slay with a strikeout and a ground out to second base. We're going to get a mound visit here. I don't know if we're going to see a pitching change. One thing that kind of struck me is Updegraff. He had a 1-0 and a 2-0 breaking ball pitch. So I wonder if Charlie Smith, the pitcher, doesn't feel comfortable throwing his fastball right now. But I believe that's the first walk of the ball game so far. As much offense and hitting as we've seen, that's just the first walk. So both pitchers have been throwing strikes. And it doesn't look like we're going to see a pitching change so far.
And ball game, quick conference. Caden Updegraff came all the way from first base to talk to the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Travis Free. 7-0 Oak Ridge, the Wildcats this year. As I mentioned yesterday, Oak Ridge lost to Central at Bobby Hopkins in a 4-1 ball game, but the offense has come to play today, and so has the pitching of Jacob Franklin. See what Jason can do here. Run going, pitches on the inside corner at the knees, and Wildcats have another runner in scoring position as Caden Updegraff bounces down to second. Alex McNaughton still at third. He had an RBI double and then was able to steal third. The Wildcats have a couple runners in scoring position and a one-strike count on Jason. Here's the pitch to him. Hit well to right center field. The center fielder makes another great play out there. I'm telling you, the most impressive guy I have seen wearing pinstripes for the Central Bobcats has been their center fielder.
Yeah, he saved at least 3 outs. He's moved to his left. He's come up and dove for a ball. He's moved to his right. Yeah, he saved it maybe at least 2 to 3 outs for Central so far. But he's a good ball player. Oak Ridge has been squaring the ball up when they've hit it out there too.
So we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Wildcats have another run on the board. They lead the Central Bobcats 7-0. We'll be back on YouTube in a moment. Clary back here along with Lee Weck broadcasting this Oak Ridge District 3 ball game with the Central Bobcats. Oak Ridge on top 7-0. Jacob Franklin pitching good baseball for the Wildcats as the Bobcats stand in here. Jacob's only really had one. They're threatening him. They had runners at second and third with 2 outs, but he was able to strand them there. And leadoff man for this inning. The ball is hit foul over towards the Oak Ridge dugout to our left, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. The batter for them is that center fielder, I believe, Caleb Hill. I believe that's who that is batting. Lee, correct me if I'm wrong here. It is Hill. He's been a thorn in the Wildcat side defensively, and he hits one foul over the top of us and out of play once again. And the count now is no balls and 2 strikes. The first baseman for the Wildcats is the senior, Jonathan Milloway. The second baseman is the sophomore, Jason Slay. The freshman, Caden Black, is the shortstop. The junior, Logan Rosenberger, is at third. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit foul at the plate, and the count remains at 0-2. Junior Alex McNaughton out in left field. Senior Matthew Swigert in center, and junior Caden Updegraft is the right fielder. The catcher is the junior Bryson Parks. So there is one senior Milloway. This pitcher is Jacob Franklin. He's a sophomore. Pitch is outside, and the count is 1-2. Lee, I mean, a very young team. You got 2 senior starters, albeit they're really good players. And Matthew Swigert, a really, really good base returning to next year's team. We'll talk about that after this pitch. Hit on the ground, shortstop. Caden Black lets it get under his glove. It goes into left field. And the Bobcats have their leadoff man aboard, I believe, for the first time in the ballgame.
Well, that's Caleb Hill's first time reaching base. This will be they had runners in the first and third inning, so Franklin will have to go back out of the stretch here as Jay Faulkner's up. He grounded out to first in his last at bat as Milloway's going to take a mound visit here. What were you saying, David?
What I said was I believe it's the first time they've had their leadoff man on.
You know what? I believe you're right. Let's see. I was looking down at the book. Yeah, you're going to be right. Every time they've got men on base, there's been either 1 or 2 outs.
So their first leadoff man aboard here, and the batter is number 5, Jay Faulkner, and he takes a strike at the belt, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Jacob Franklin still pounding the strike zone here. His team on top 7-0. He's been a part of that with his pitching and with his offense. Good lead at first there. 1 strike pitch. Down 7-0. I kind of doubt they're going to run much here. I know unless they think they can run, because Franklin is a little bit slow to the plate here, and that kind of allows the runner to get a little bit more of a lead here. But down 7-0, I'm not sure. That pitch is outside, perhaps, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Franklin has a quick delivery to the plate. He utilizes that slide step, and he's able to shorten the time from his leg kick to the glove, so that it makes stealing on him a little bit tougher.
1 ball, 1 strike. foul. And out of play, some people buying concessions over there totally unaware. They almost got knocked out onto the concrete there at the concession stand. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jay Faulkner. The pitch is hit on the ground. Could be a double play. Well, they're not going to get anybody. I think Caden, like I, was thinking double play and didn't field the ball cleanly. He was thinking about what he was going to do, and now they've got runners at first and second with nobody out. And I think right there, Caden was thinking double play the whole way and just took his concentration off the ball.
Yeah, I think he was thinking about flipping the ball to second base to go ahead and start getting the double play going, and I guess forgot to maybe field it clean. But first and second here, we're going to have to get out of this.
There's a ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Franklin trying to work out of a mess, not of his own doing here. Checks the runner back at second. Caden Black kind of sneaking in right behind him. The pitch is cut on a miss. Good live pitch there by Jacob Franklin. And the count is 0-2.
It's another thing I like out of Franklin's slide step, because it really makes it tough for the base runners to get a good jump and to take whatever and to steal a base. A runner on second, it's tough to vault. It's tough to get a secondary, and it's tough to steal if his delivery time to the plate is quick. And if he can throw strikes, Jacob Franklin, if he can throw strikes, it really shuts down the base runner's ability to take extra bases.
Count is 2-1 to the batter, left-handed hitter. Runners take their leads once again. The pitch, runners going to third. They got him if they put the tag on him, and he is safe. Just got under the tag. He might have not held onto the ball. It looked like the throw beat him there, and I thought Logan put the tag on him, but obviously a nice slide in there. I thought he had him dead to rights.
Well, Faulkner, the base runner at first, didn't take second, so if you get a ground ball, you can almost get a double play here. Usually when you're a runner on first, you have an open stance. You watch your runner on second, so Faulkner didn't run, so you still theoretically have a double play here. I'd almost sacrifice the run to get 2 outs here if Franklin can get a ground ball here.
He's done a good job doing that. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Jacob Franklin, a little bit long to the plate here, and the batter steps out and calls timeout. That is George Sanger. He is the catcher. Another lefty in their lineup. Runners at first and third, 7-0 Oak Ridge. Franklin trying to work out a trouble. There's a throw over to first and back safely. Jacobs picked off one guy in the ball game early on in the ball game. I think that was perhaps Logan Roadwall who was picked off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and third for the Bobcats. There's the pitch. That's way outside. Jacob in danger of walking the bases loaded here. Really, he's gotten the ground balls that he's wanted, but the Wildcat infield has kind of let him down a bit. I think just a bit. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Cut on a miss, and that is a swinging strikeout. So good job for Jacob. Number 1, and batter now will is the number 9 hitter, the second baseman, Brady Ackerman.
Yeah, he singled his last time up. And, once again, because Faulkner didn't take second base, you're lined up to get out of the inning here. If you get a ground ball, you can get a double play.
Coach Free signals in a play to his catcher, Bryson Parks, who relays it to the rest of the Wildcat fielders. Franklin with runners at first and second, leading Central 7-0. Here's the pitch. It's high, about chin level, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Bobcats wearing their traditional red, white, and black. The black pinstripes. Nice looking uniform for Central. Wildcats in their Cardinal jerseys, white pants, gray numerals. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's in the dirt. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Away for the runner to either come from third or advance down to second. And right now, Ackerman ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Got 1 out here, 2 on, in a 7-0 game with the Wildcats in the lead. The pitch is cut on a missed. Jacob pitching well tonight for the Wildcats. Maybe the best I've seen him pitch. And I've seen him pitch a lot this year, and maybe the best he's pitched all season, especially against a district opponent. See what he can do. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch, hit foul. Kind of a late hack at it. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, one thing I've noticed for the Central hitters, they're taking some pretty defensive swings on with less than 2 strikes. So that's credit to Jacob Franklin getting them off timing. And another thing is that I don't think Jacob Franklin, as I'm looking at my book here, has not walked anybody.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. The concession stand. This time, everybody's out of harm's way. Kind of bounces harmlessly away. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, 1 out, 7-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats scored in every inning but one. This is the biggest scoring threat of the night for the Bobcats. They had a couple runners stranded at second and third with 2 outs earlier in the ball game. Let's see what Jacob can do with a 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground. Shortstop 1 for second. He can't make the play. So the young middle infielders causing issues for the Wildcats. It was maybe not a double play, but they at least were going to get the lead runner down at second. But he just came out of his glove, and they played a run. Then it's 7-1. So Jacob Franklin getting the pitches and the ground balls that he's wanted in this inning, but his middle infielders letting him down a little bit, and they've got a run in.
Well, Black fielded the ball, but Slay, I guess, got handcuffed on the throw and ended up not making the play. So
It was a soft throw there. It was an underhand toss.
underhand throw. Oh, here we go.
Ball's hit to right center field. Matthew Swargett, a long run, can't make the play. Warning track. Here comes 1 run to score. Matthew gets the ball in, and it is 7-2. So these runs are out of here because this inning has gotten on by an error, and it is now 7-2. And they've got runners at second and third, and that was the best hit ball of the night for the Central Bobcats. That was their leadoff man, Andrew Hill, I believe. And now the batter will be Logan Rodewald, and now we're going to have a little conversation on the mound. You know, I don't know what you can say to Jacob. Jacob's pitching some really good baseball. He just hasn't gotten the support in the infield.
Well, I mean, he's got a strikeout. He's gotten 3 ground balls, all to shortstop, and unfortunately, the plays haven't been made so far. So, Franklin, I mean, he's doing his job, and Andrew Hill. We're at the third. We flipped the order for the 3rd time now. Andrew Hill gets a fastball and puts it out in deep right center. So, Central making a comeback here. But if I'm a coach right now, I'm just telling Franklin to continue doing your job, keep throwing strikes, and you're gonna have to trust your defense, and the defense is gonna have to make plays.
Normally very sure-handed out there, but it's a couple of miscues, and just like that, we've got a ball game once again. Still, the Wildcats have a 5-run lead, 7-2, but there's only 1 out here in this one. They've got runners in scoring position, 2 more in scoring position at second and at third. And the batter will be their number 2 hitter, the left fielder, Logan Rodewald. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't know if we have any here. I know it's a little choppy. You stay with us on the radio side of it here. 7-2 Oak Ridge. Franklin has the sign from Parks. The pitch bounced to the plate, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. What has Logan done in this one besides getting picked off?
He had that chop single up the middle, his first at bat, and flew out to right field in his second at bat.
So he's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Got picked off on a nice play by Franklin and a nice tag by the first baseman of the Wildcats, Jonathan Milloway. 2 in here in the 5th inning. Wildcats on top 7-2. Franklin checks the runners, comes to the plate, hit hard right in the right field. That's a hard hit ball. It's going to roll to Caden Updegraff to the warning trap. 2 runs will score here, and that is going to be a double. Hard hit ball. Got over the top of the glove of the first baseman, Jonathan Milloway, just inches away from making the play, but he couldn't come down with it. And it is 7-4 just like that. So, the inning continues here. The miscues by the Wildcat defense have allowed this inning to continue, and that was a well-hit ball that time by the left fielder.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game of inches, right? I mean, that ball just hit the tip of Milloway's glove, and, Oak Ridge has made 3 errors on the inning, and now they're paying for it. And it's 7-4 ball game with with 1 out so far. So, I mean, it's just part of the game. When you make mistakes, you're probably going to pay for them. That's what Central is making Oak Ridge pay for defensive mistakes right now.
Quick talk from the field umpire with Logan Rosenberger. They stop play for a second. 7-4 the score now. Pitch is hit. That should be an out. It's going to be a shallow fly ball, and it's going to be caught by Jason Slay on a really nice play. He goes with his throw into third. I thought, honestly, to be honest with you, that Matthew Swigert had a better look at that one, but Jason Slay, showing a lot of range out there, went and made a nice play.
Slay was moving back and to the right out there in shallow center. Swigert, it looks like he's playing rather deep out there. I don't know if Swigert got a good jump on that ball. Was it really shallow? Looking where Swigert's playing, I don't know if he would have gotten to that. So probably Slay had the best play on that.
Better now. Let's see. The first baseman, Owen Holbert, stands in. At second, Franklin trying to get out of this inning. 3 errors in the ball is hit to right field pretty deep. Caden Updegraff's going to watch it go over his head to the fence. They're going to get another run. And here comes the throw in, and they've got a double. And just like that, it is 7-5. And all because of really an inning that has been extended because of poor infield play by the Wildcats. Some little mistakes there, and little mistakes add up to big mistakes, and they've got 5 on the board now.
Yeah, I mean, when you make defensive mistakes, things like that happen. And Central, their bats have come alive here. They're driving the ball all over the field right now.
Here comes the pitch to the plate. That's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count. We're in the 5th inning. It's now 7-5. Wildcats still in the lead here, trying to hold on for dear life. A lot of baseball to be played here. Bobcats trying to get this 6th run in from second. That pitch is a called strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 7-5 the score. Unearned runs, Lee. He'll figure that out here in a moment. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 1 on. 7-5 the score. Pitch to the plate. Hit in the air, deep to left field. Left fielder Alex McNaughton back to the fence, and we have got a tie ball game. 7-7 our score. Fly ball, home run, and just like that, a 7-0 deficit erased by the Central Bobcats on a fly ball home run, and it's 7-7. What can you say? You got to make plays, and the Wildcats have not made plays in this inning, and Jacob Franklin, all he can do is say, well, I was ahead 7-0. Now the Wildcats have to go back to work offensively.
That pitch was low. I mean, Ellis kind of went down, pitched below his knees. He kind of just stuck the bat out in the wind. I just helped it carry out of here. So, it's unfortunate. Before, we saw all these runs coming in from Central. Franklin was getting ground balls, and now they're just teeing off of him right now. So I don't know if Oak Ridge has anybody warmed up in the pen, but now Franklin's just serving them up right now.
Here comes the pitch. Hit foul back to the screen, and the count is 0 balls and 1 strike. Jacob pitched masterfully until this inning, and really, I honestly think he should have gotten out of here unscathed, actually. I mean, they should have been out of the inning a long, long time ago. But like you said, Lee, it's part of baseball. I mean, it's especially high school ball. You don't see a perfect game typically played as that pitch is cut on and missed, and the count is 0-2. He's just trying to just get out of here this inning. Right name. And here's the pitch. Hit in the air once again to left field. Alex McNaughton should make the play, though. He does for out number 3. A very long inning for Jacob Franklin. 3 errors in the inning help the Bobcat cause, and we are all tied at 7. We'll be back to Central in a moment. Welcome back once again to Tommy Shumpert Park. If you tuned out thinking the Wildcats were going to breeze through this one, 7 unearned runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Wildcats. Oh, there's a nice drive by Bryson Parks. Is going to roll to the fence. Nice play by the center fielder, and we have a bang play. He's going to have to return to first, and he might be out there. Here's the throw, and he is out. That ball was hit to the fence, and Bryson. Either he came up lane there, he returned to first. I think he would have made it to second. I'm kind of surprised that he returned to second, but the ball was hit on the button, and I'm not exactly down at first. He was.
Well, I was watching around first. It looks like he kind of misstepped running around first. I don't know if I didn't think the first baseman obstructed in his way. And then he got about halfway, then realized he wasn't going to get there, maybe a little indecision. So not really sure what happened. I thought that was a double all the way.
Yeah, nice play again out there by Caleb Hill as Black stands in. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. 1 out now. Charlie Smith still pitching, and his team has gotten him runs. It was 7-0 Oak Ridge, but then all of a sudden it's 7-7.
Oh, that's why you never, ever give up. As Central, in football terms, we would have said, has just hung a touchdown on Oak Ridge.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a called strike of the knees, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing hard again to center. It is full count. Thank you, Lee. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Caden Black, freshman, has had a good game. Hit the ball solidly tonight. Got a couple RBIs to his credit here, at least one. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Did he swing? I think he did. They say he did, and that is a strikeout, and that is out number 2. Just kind of a half-hearted swing, but enough for the strikeout. And back to the top of the order we go to Matthew Swigert.
Well, let's see if Oak Ridge can put some 2-out hits together here. They need to get another run. They got to get back in front here. Got to help their pitching out, and let's see if Swigert can start that off right here.
Here's the pitch to Matthew. It's high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes to count. 7-7 the score. The Wildcats had a 7-0 lead here, but 7 unearned runs. 3 errors in the 5th inning hurt the Wildcats' cause. There's a called strike, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Logan Rosenberger is on deck for the Wildcats. Grizz has done a pretty good job when they've had base runners scoring them. As Renal account is looks like 2 balls and 1 strike to Matthew Swigert, who's been on base a couple times in this one. It looks like he scored a run. Here's the pitch to him. It's hit foul. Off to the right side and out of play. 7-7 our score. Cats. We're breezing along, Lee Wexler. But right now, it's going to be up to Jacob Franklin or the Oak Ridge offense or any other pitcher that comes in for the Wildcats to shut down the Bobcats who got hot here. And here's the pitch to Swigert, hit foul back to the screen, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Smith for Central, he's gotten in a little rhythm here. Oak Ridge has kind of chased some off speed, chased some pitches out of the zone. They're kind of helping him out here. Had a base running mistake, so can't give Central anything right now.
Hit foul off to the right side, hit hard, but all the way foul, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody aboard for the Wildcats as they bat in the 6th inning. A breezy ball game, getting a little cooler actually here at Tommy Shumpert Park. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Matthew Swigert, senior center fielder for the Wildcats. Swings and he misses, and that is a strikeout. So 3 up and 3 down for the Wildcats. Actually, they had a single in there, but he was out trying to stretch it to second, although he was tagged out at first. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-7 our score. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Tommy Shumpert Field. Matthew Swigert takes over on the mound for the Wildcats. He's in relief of Oak Ridge's Caleb Franklin, who deserved a better fate, Lee Wexler. 7 unearned runs to make a 7-7 ball game.
Well, earlier in the fifth inning, he was getting ground balls. He was getting the central hitters to miss on some swings. And then after a couple defensive errors, and then they were just teeing off. They were getting their pitches, and now it's a tie game at 7.
Probably a little frustration on the part, too, of Jacob as well. And probably got tired, too. He was into the fifth inning. First pitch by Matthew Swigert is a swinging strike on a high pitch, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Matthew's pitch is hit foul and over towards the concession stand again, and it hits the man this time. Got to keep an eye out here. He's okay. Just kind of glanced off of him, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Matthew's pitch, breaking pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. 7-7 the score. District 3 contest here from Tommy Shumpert Park. Right-handed throwing Matthew Swigert to the plate. Cut on a miss, and that is a strikeout. So 1 batter faced by Matthew Swigert, and he goes down swinging for the first out here in the 6th inning. Now we go to the catcher, George Sanger. What has George done in the ballgame, George?
He's popped out to second base and struck out swinging in his only 2 at-bats.
He's a lefty. Swigert comes to the plate. Pitches outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Jonathan Milloway is at first base. Jason Slay is playing second. The shortstop is Caden Black. Logan Rosenberger is at third. Here's the pitch, cut on and missed. Lifted his left leg as the ball came in, actually almost like he pointed it towards home plate and was off balance when he swung. There was no way in the world he was going to hit that ball. No balls. I think it's no balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to the plate. And that's and 1 strike. So the count was at 1-1. Continuing on with the outfield, the Wildcats have Alex McNaughton in left and the new center fielder. Actually, let's check that to make sure I've got that. We'll check the fielders. Looks like Caden's moved around here. Here's the pitch to the plate. Hit foul. Back to the screen. You got better eyes than I do, Lee. What are the numbers out there in the outfield?
Fortunately, I cannot read. It is a left-hander out there in center field for Oak Ridge. I can't see the number.
We'll get a better look here in a second. Here comes a 2-2 pitch from Matthew Swigert. A little high and outside. Full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 7-7 the score as the Bobcats bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning in a 7-7 ball game. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. So 2 up and 2 down for the Bobcats. Wildcats might have caught a little break. That one looked a little outside, but we'll be number 22 standing in for them. And that's a pinch hitter for the Bobcats. You've got the lineup card there.
It's going to be Brody Cranford, if I'm saying that right. As I'm reading their lineup, looks like Brody Cranford. I hope I'm saying that right. It's pinch hitting.
Actually, he's hit the ball well today, or been on base. Brady Ackerman, he stands in for the Bobcats. 7-7 our score. 2 outs, nobody aboard for the Bobcats. Right-handed hitter. And Matthew Swigert comes to the plate. Hit in the air, caught by Jonathan Milloway for out number 3. So the pinch hitter sees 1 pitch and he lines out to first. We go to the top of the 7th inning. The Wildcats need some runs. 7-7 our score. We'll be back on YouTube in a moment. Welcome back once again on YouTube to Prep Radio, our channel. The Wildcats have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, so you got a good lineup. Try to get some runs here in a 7-7 ball game. Of course, you only play 7 in high school. As the pitch comes in, that's a called strike at the knees. Looked inside. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Jacob Franklin on deck. Really deserved a better fate. 7 unearned runs. Pitch to him is a late called strike. Wow. Late call on that one. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes. Nobody aboard here. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I don't know if it was a strike or not, but it was the lateness of the call. I mean, it was long after he'd almost thrown it back to the pitcher. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Cut on and foul to the plate. Catcher couldn't hang on, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Charlie Smith's gone all the way here. It looked like he wasn't going to get through the 2nd or 3rd inning, but he's gone all the way into the 7th.
Yeah, I think his pitch counts up there. They were Central was warming a guy up way back in the 3rd inning.
That pitch is down low. I'll have to wait here for the umpire to give me a signal now. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Nobody out. Nobody aboard. Logan Rosenberger, the batter. Here's the 2-2 pitch to him. Hit in the air. Foul territory over towards the Central dugout. First baseman can't make the play. Tough looking into the sun. He was glaring right into it. He had a good beat on it. He went a little bit too far, then had to twist back, and he couldn't make the catch. So Rosenberger has new life.
That's Owen Holbert over there at first base. I think he overran it. I think he thought he had more room than he thought he had, and the sun didn't help. The sun's kind of in his way there. So new life for Rosenberger here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if he can get aboard. He's been on base today. See what he can do here. Here's the 2-2 pitch to him. Hit on the ground. Third base side. Foul ball. They go ahead with the throw there. And he called him out, but it was foul. It was kind of the umpire didn't really signal whether it was a foul ball right away. But Logan's going to return. Logan beat out an infield single in 1 plate appearance today, as he will stand in with a 2 ball, 2 strike count on him. 7-7 our scores. The Wildcats bad in the 7th. Wildcats cruising along. And now we're in a dogfight here, or cat fight, I guess would be better described. Bobcats and Wildcats. Rosenberger, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's Charlie Smith's pitch to him. Hit well, hit deep to left field and long. It's to the fence. It goes to the wall. It is caught by the left fielder, perhaps, as really, really nice play all the way in the corner. I thought at first it was going to go over the fence. It's out of our camera view. Ball was hit right on the button, and obviously a nice play made out in left field.
Well, for me, the dugout's obstructing my view. I thought he got all of that one, but of course, right when the wind wants to die down is when Rosenberger hits a bomb, and unfortunately, it just stayed in the park. It looks like a nice play by the left fielder to go and track that down. So it's another hard-hit ball by the Wildcats that has been caught. The Central outfield has been really good tonight.
320 to the corner there. Obviously, we did not see it. I like you, Lee. When he hit it, I thought there was no way in the world. I was watching the outfielder going back on it. He had to come a long way to get it. The ball did hold up for him as Jacob Franklin steps in with 1 out now. 7-7 our scores. The Wildcats bat here in the 7th. The top of the order, let's see, for the Bobcats, well, I'll see who will be batting in their half of the 7th as Jacob takes one on the inside corner for a called strike. Charlie lost his hat out there. It'll be the 1, 2, and 3 hitters in their lineup, so it'll be tough for Matthew Swigert. Wildcats need a run here. They got to get somebody on base. Franklin behind in the count 0-2. High and inside. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wow. Logan hit the ball right on the nose. I was totally shocked it didn't fall. If it didn't go over the fence, I was surprised it didn't fall for a double. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Jacob. Cut on and miss, bounces away. He's going to have to throw him out. Gets a good angle and throws him out at first base, and that is out number 2. And here comes Jonathan Milloway. Jonathan has a home run to his credit here today. Hit it over the left center field fence. Could use one right here. Yeah, I know he's taken a couple half swings and has struck out at least twice, I believe, in the ball game. Once in the ball game, lined out to left one other time. He accounted for 2 of the Wildcat runs earlier with that home run. He stands in here with 2 outs in a 7-7 ball game. Charlie Smith's pitch to him, cut on a miss, and he was trying to give the Wildcats a run there, but the count is 0-1.
Well, Charlie Smith has really settled down here for Central. Oak Ridge Bats have kind of fallen asleep here, so got to get something going. 2 outs here in the 7th. Need something.
Here's the pitch. There's a called strike. That ball right down Main Street, right down the turnpike, we'll say. And the count is 0-2 to Jonathan Milloway. He's hit the ball hard twice. Needs to be a defensive hitter right here. He's behind in the count, 0-2. Charlie Smith comes to the plate. Hit foul. Back over towards the concession stand. And out of play. Count remains at 0-2. 7-7 the score as we play in the 7th inning in a game on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. Kind of a choppy signal. We are recording it, though. I will load it. Here's the pitch. That's right at the belt. Central fans thought that looked pretty good. Looked pretty good from my vantage point as well. And the count is 1-2 strikes.
That looked close to me. It looked like an off-speed pitch. That was close.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's high and maybe inside. And the count is even now at 2-2 strikes. Nobody aboard for the Wildcats as they bat in the 7th. 2 outs. Jonathan Milloway, the batter. Right-handed hitting senior. Only 3 seniors on this team. The pitch called strike 3, and Jonathan knew it. He argues with the umpire, and he's about to be tossed out of the game, and I think he just got ejected. I think Jonathan Milloway was ejected from the ball game. So the umpire didn't like the chatter. Hopefully, see if he grabs his glove here. He didn't really give a demonstrative "you're out of here," but he did kind of point to Coach Free with his mouth, kind of did his hand like a mouth. Let's see, and yep, he is out of the ball game, and Bryce Ludwikowski is going to take over at first. So Jonathan Milloway is out of the ballgame. 7-7 our score. The Wildcats, Matthew Swigert will be facing the top of the Central order when we come back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Tommy Shumpert Park in North Knox County. The Wildcats and Central Bobcats in a 7-7 ball game. The Wildcats were cruising up 7-0. Then 7 unearned runs later, we've got a tie ball game. The Bobcats trying to win it in the bottom half of the 7th, and they've got the 1, 2, and 3 hitters facing Oak Ridge's Matthew Swigert. Lobakowski now playing first for the ejected Jonathan Milloway. The pitch is hit foul. Back our way once again towards the concession stand and closer to the flagpole, the Tennessee state flag, which is not moving much. The American flag blowing in the wind there. Count is no balls and 1 strike. 7-7 our score, bottom of the 7th inning. Here's Swigert's pitch, called strike 2. And the count is 0-2. Matthews come in and throw nothing but strikes.
Yeah, he's got 2 strikeouts and a line out to first, and he's already ahead 0-2 here. So coming in, throwing strikes, that's exactly what he needed to do.
To the shortstop, Andrew Hill. That one's up high, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So it's Andrew Hill, Logan Rodwald, and Ryan, the scheduled 3 hitters in the Bobcat lineup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matthew Swigert comes to the plate. Hit foul again over towards the concession stand, this time over the top of it. About all the foul balls have gone directly straight back. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jordan Osborne doing our camera work. The sun beginning to set. He's got shorts on and a short sleeve shirt. goosebumps all over his arms. And count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, hit foul again. Now to play this time over towards the football soccer field to our left, I guess, as I look. They've got football fields, soccer fields, baseball fields, walking tracks, tennis courts. It's a beautiful park here, Tommy Shumpert Park. It's secluded in a hill, which is keeping our broadcast from getting out. As that pitch is hit foul, Bryson Parks, the catcher, is under it. He makes the catch for out number 1. That's a tough play by the catcher. I never ever played catcher, but ball kind of drifted back on him, especially with this wind. Never really hesitated, made a nice play.
Yeah, ball's hit straight up, and it's a good job by Parks. What you want to do right there is you want to take that mask off quick and find the ball. He didn't really have to go far. I mean, it's basically right where he's squatting is where the ball ended up. So Swigert's coming in. He's throwing strikes. He's getting the hitters to chase, and just got to keep throwing strikes here.
Number 3, Logan Rodewald, the left fielder, stands in. He's been on base a couple times in the ball game. Here's Matthews' pitch to him. Pitch is low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. High school ball, they play 7 innings. Wildcats trying to get it into extra innings. Matthew Swigert's got 1 out here in the 7th in a 7-7 ball game. Parks with a sign. The pitch hit on the ground. Foul off the fingertips of one of the assistant coaches, I think it was. See somebody over there kind of obscured by a tree and a very black, heavy iron fence in front of us. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Swigert comes to the plate. Pitch. Hit on 1 hop to the second baseman. Really was kind of a tough play for Jason there. It was a kind of an in-betweener there. He couldn't decide whether he wanted to catch it or field it on 1 hop, but it got to him a little bit faster than I think it was going to, and it bounced basically right at his feet and got under him.
Yeah, I mean, that ball, it looks like it had the tricky hop out there. It wasn't sure if he wanted to come forward and maybe get a better scoop or move back and take the long hop. Either way, the indecision, Rodewald now reaches on an error, so another base runner via a defensive mistake.
He was picked off in the first inning. Let's see what Matthew can do. He represents the winning run out at first base. Another error for the Wildcats middle infielders. It's been a struggle. Sophomore and a freshman out there. Good lead at first for Rodewald. As I said, he's the winning run. Here's a quick throw over. Like I said, he was picked off once in the ball game. He's going to probably be a little extra careful here, but they want to get him in the scoring position, I'm sure. Matthew working from the stretch here, facing number 10, Ryan Bolton, the right fielder. Here's the pitch to him, hit in the air, deep center field. Center fielder Hayden Morgan back on it. He makes the catch for the out. Or I think that might be Caden out there. I meant to look. I know Hayden Morgan came into the so a nice play out there. I guess is that Caden out there in center? Yeah.
I can't tell. Too far away.
Really nice play, though, in center field, and we'll get some verification on that. I apologize for that. I meant to look. But it's 2 outs. That's the good news here. The batter is their cleanup hitter, Owen Holbert. He hit one well the last time. Matthew trying to work out of trouble here. Here's the runner going. The pitch is hit on the infield, foul territory, and out of play. Coming back our way, and one of the JV Wildcats tries to make the play, but does not. It bounces in front of him, and the count is no balls and 1 strike to the cleanup man, Owen Holbert. Matthew Swigert trying to get this ball game into the 8th inning. He's a burly first baseman, batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Swigert. And here's a throw over, and back to the bag goes Rodewald once again. 2 outs, 1 on, 7-7 the score as the Bobcats bat here in the 7th inning. Swigert checks the runner. It's a short lead. He's going. The pitch is fouled back to the screen. Not a great jump there by Rodewald. And right now, Holbert behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
I don't know if that was a hit and run. I don't know if Holbert was swinging because his base runner got a bad jump. Not sure what that was, but regardless, Swigert's ahead 0-2 here. And if you're Oak Ridge, you got to get this into extra innings.
7-7 the score here. Good lead at first. You don't want to make a mistake throwing over that way, but you want to keep him close. Here's the pitch, a slow pitch, high, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jordan Osborne doing camera work. Lee Wexler with us here at Tommy Shumpert Field. in North Knox County. It's nestled between two hills. That's why our signal is so poor getting out our stream. But like we said, we are recording it. Runners going. Pitch is cut on foul back to the screen. And old Rodewald, he looks back at his batter and says, "Hey, you're wearing me out, son." And he kind of puts his hands up in the air. Another foul ball.
He's getting his conditioning in. He's probably going to be out of breath here. Let's see if I'd be interested to see if he runs again here.
Holbert stands back in. Swigert trying to end the seventh on this pitch. Here it comes. 1-2 pitch. That's high. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So that time, Logan stayed at first, being held on by Bryce Ludwikowski. As Matthew Swigert once again tries to get us into extra innings here. Has the sign from Parks, the 2-2 pitch. That's high. Bounces off the mid of Parks, but Rodewald staying right where he is at first base, and now we got a full count. So, big pitch here for Matthew Swigert. He doesn't want to put the potential winning run in scoring position. As, once again, runner will be going. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the throw over to first, and back to the bag goes Rodewald once again. 7-7 our score. 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Chilly day, starting to be a chilly day here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Matthew Swigert has the sign. And once again, a 3-2 pitch. No, it's a throw over again. Right on him, but back safely goes Rodewald. Doing a good job keeping him close to the bag because you know he's going to be going here on a 3-2 pitch, obviously. 2 outs. He's going to be going on the pitch. Matthew wants to get Holbert right here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Matthew to the plate, 3-2 pitch, down low. That is ball 4. So they've got runners at first and second with 2 outs. And the batter will be the number 5 hitter in their lineup, the third baseman, Austin Ellis. What has Ellis done to this point?
He struck out twice and hit the home run, the lone home run for Central so far.
Wildcats have made one nice play in the outfield this inning. Matthew has pitched well, just a little out of the strike zone there. Let's see here. And timeout is asked for here. Looks like I don't know. They don't need a pinch runner in. They only need 1 run here. The runner at first is not important at all, honestly, as they've got a runner at second, scoring position. 2 outs, though. 7-7 the score. Swigert working from the stretch. And here's the pitch to Ellis. Here it comes. Hit foul. Back to the screen. High pitch around shoulder level, and the count is 0-1. Matthews pitched well since he's been in the ball game. The only time he's been in trouble is this inning. Count is no balls, 1 strike. Caleb Hill on deck for the Bobcats. There are 2 outs, though. Trying to get to the 8th inning. Swigert with a 1-strike pitch. Here it comes. Cut on a miss. Strike 2. 1 more away from getting us into the 8th inning. Nothing but a high heat right there.
Yeah.
Runner at second takes his lead. That's Logan Rodewald. The runner at first is Owen Holbert. Austin Ellis about to face an 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Hit well to left field. It's going to drop in front of the left fielder, and they're going to send the line. They're going to get him out of the plate. The throw, it goes away from the catcher, and they win. Ball was hit to left field. The throw came in, bounced, took a funny hop away from the catcher, and the Wildcats lose this one 8-7. Tough game. Good job of hitting there by Austin Ellis to get the run in, and the Wildcats, who were up 7-0 in the ball game, fall in this one by a score of 8-7. Had him dead to rights. In fact, the runner tripped as he came around third. Up the first base line, and the Wildcats fall on this one 8-7.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just an absolute brutal way to lose, blowing a 7-0 lead. Not a good way. Right there, that sequence right there towards the end. I can't tell who that was in left field because of all the defensive shifts, but, when eight unearned runs, I have written down in my book, I've got 5 defensive errors on the infield tonight. And right there in that last inning, we had an E4 and a walk, and usually when you issue walks, It's only the second walk of the game, but when you issue walks and when your defense makes mistakes, you're going to pay for it. And Oak Ridge, unfortunately, their bats fell asleep. The defensive mistakes is basically what's going to cost Oak Ridge. When you build a 7-0 lead, you can't fall asleep, and you can't fall asleep offensively or defensively. So, Franklin, I thought, threw well. Swigert came in and threw well, but I think the story of the night is going to be the defensive mishaps on Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge had this game in the bag. I know we thought Charlie Smith was going to get pulled for Central. Central was warming a guy up in the third inning. We thought it was going to be a quick game, and unfortunately that just was not the case. That's why you never ever give up, but that's also why you never ever want to think you've got it won. So Oak Ridge, that's a tough way to lose. That's a district game, and that one's going to sting. That's really going to sting. I'm sure Coach Free is not happy with his players, but you got to play all 7 innings. It's like any other sport. You got to play the entire game.
I think I'm gonna back. Give a little bit of credit to the fact that the middle infielders, who really are the ones who made the errors, really are sophomore and freshmen. I'm going to give them a little slack,
and they'll be able to learn from this. It's a teaching moment. They're young, like you said. They'll be able to build on this, and they'll get better moving forward. They'll be better, and but they'll be better moving forward.
We won't hold it too long. I do want to talk to the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Travis Free. Final score of the ball game: the Bobcats win it 8-7. A single. RBI there at the end for, I believe, Austin Ellis, and they win it 8-7. That is your final score. We hope to speak to the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Travis Free. We'll take a quick break here. Hopefully we'll come back with him. We won't wait long, but we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Tommy Shumpert Field. The Wildcats defeated 8-7. Lee, you've got the scoring in the ballgame.
Well, stats for Oak Ridge hitting wise: Matthew Swigert was 2 for 4, had 2 singles, flew out to center, and struck out. Logan Rosenberger was let's make it 1 for 3 with a sac bunt in the first, struck out in the second, had a single in the fifth, and flew out to left in the seventh. Jacob Franklin was 1 for 4 with a single, 2 strikeouts, and a ground out to second. Jonathan Milloway was 1 for 4 with a line out to left field, a home run, and 2 strikeouts. Alex McNaughton was 2 for 3 with a double and a single and a strikeout. Caden Updegraft was 1 for 2, had a single, flew out to center, and walked. Jason Slay was 0 for 3, a strikeout, grounded out to second base, and flew out to center field. Bryson Parks was 1 for 3 with a single and 2 strikeouts. Caden Black was 1 for 3 with a single lined out to center field and struck out. And as I'm looking over my book here, I don't believe one Oak Ridge hitter walked. One Oak Ridge hitter walked. It was Caden Updegraft. So Oak Ridge saw a lot of strikes here. And pitching for Oak Ridge was Jacob Franklin through relieve the final two. And the final score here from Tommy Shumpert Park, if I'm saying that right, is 8-7. Oak Ridge blew a 7-0 lead. Central comes back and wins the ball game 8-7.
Coach Free still talking with his team down there below here. I don't know if I want to hold it any longer here. It's kind of cool out here, and Jordan doesn't have much clothes on, so it's kind of chilly now. So we'll take a break and actually close out our broadcast here. Lee, I appreciate you joining us here. Our next broadcast of Oak Ridge High School baseball, I think